so much. It is wonderful to join you this morning, and I have had quite a week, and I'll get to that in a moment, but I know one of the things I was asked to address here is sort of what it's been like to be out in office, sort of my journey, and then also a little bit of an update on the intrigue of what's been happening on the Hill, especially in the last few days, and frankly, this week you could count the hours of everything changes by the minute and by the hour. But I'm really delighted to get a chance to meet with all of you at a time when I think you're thinking about transitions and anticipating what life is going to be like after you graduate from college. And while life for LGBT Americans has certainly changed, I think, significantly for the better since the years that I was in college, which I like to think wasn't all that long ago, but we could all differ on that. It certainly can still be challenging, sometimes frightening, and on occasion even dangerous to be openly gay. But I can also tell you from personal experience that coming out for me and seeking elective office as an openly lesbian person was the most freeing thing that I have ever done. And in fact, I think some people are surprised when I say that by being out, I found certain benefits in my political career. And I'm going to return to that in a few moments and sort of explain to you what I mean by being out as a benefit in politics. But anyways, for you, simply having the support of organizations such as Out for Work and getting to meet each other and network at a conference like this really demonstrates how much has changed since I was in college in the early 1980s, and even the changes that have happened more recently. And today, colleges and universities often have LGBT alumni networks, like the one I helped found at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, that really help mentor new graduates as they head off to the work world. And when I was first elected to public office, back in 1986, I ran for the Dane County Board of Supervisors. And at that time, there was a new organization of gay and lesbian elected officials that met. The first meeting was in 1985. I was elected to office in 1986, so I got to attend my first meeting that year. And there were roughly, if I recall, there were 14 openly gay and lesbian elected officials who attended that conference in 1986. And it was a global conference because we had one member of parliament from Britain who attended. And we counted up as best we could all of the openly gay or lesbian elected officials at the time who were unable to attend that conference in 1986. We came up with a figure of close to 24. So that's how many openly gay or lesbian elected officials there were that we could count in 1986. Today, this conference still endures, and there are literally hundreds. And the Gay and Lesbian Leadership Council that convenes, the Leadership Institute that convenes these meetings, counts over 600 openly gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, elected and appointed officials around the globe. So it's been a geometric growth over those years, and that's an incredible, incredible growth and an incredible move forward. Just remember, though, that it was 10 years ago when Ellen DeGeneres came out on national television and all the cynics of the day said that her career was over. Now think about that. 10 years ago, they predicted her career was over, and yet this year, she hosted the Academy Awards, a television program viewed by almost 1 billion people worldwide who were incredibly entertained by this hugely popular comedian. But not only that, they got to hear Oscar winner Melissa Etheridge thank her wife and 4 children as she accepted her Oscar. So there has been incredible positive change. Now, one of my friends who's now in his mid-60s, actually somebody who was one of my political mentors back in Madison, was reminding me that when he was in college, the only way that he could find any reference to issues affecting the LGBT community came in textbooks, usually by words such as deviant, abhorrent, criminal, etc. And today, you can find in almost every bookstore aisles and aisles of books on LGBT history, LGBT activism, the movement, etc. Now, as you heard in the introduction, I grew up in a very, what's considered a very progressive city, in what is also considered a fairly progressive state, Madison, Wisconsin. Yet, when I was, yay, let's hear it. Yet I will tell you, in my generation, no one in any of the classes that I ever attended at one of the best public school systems, I think, in the country, no one ever mentioned the words gay or lesbian, bisexual, or transgender in my entire elementary, middle, or high school education. Never mind that there was no gay-straight alliance or anything like it at that point in time. At that point in time, there were no openly gay characters on television programs. And there certainly were no same-sex marriage or civil union announcements in the society pages of the New York Times or the Washington Post or the Wisconsin State Journal. No protections existed against LGBT people in housing, in public accommodations, or in the workplace at that time. And I would tell you, at that time, the word queer was a curse word, and the idea of being queer was considered a curse at that time.